Hey guys, it's Morbid Locks. I was working on my hair and I saw there's a section that has crazy amount of flyaways, so I wanted to show you how I take care of them. Especially if you don't have the quick, or what I call the quick dread method, by just grabbing the latch hook and just pulling it all the way through into your dread for a fast tidy up. Now that method isn't great for like helping you lock your hair. However, it does look nice and tidy really fast. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the way I do it using a latch hook and using the normal latch hooks, these little baby ones, and a crochet hook. Now, when you're taking care of your roots, especially if you have new growth and you have straight hair, you do want to go in and back comb a little bit. But before we start, let me show you the problem child we're working with today. Now, I have some hair from an extension here. Okay, so it's this one with the green bead. That's a good way to not lose it. I don't know if you can see. Well, I wrapped some hair around it already. Look at all that. Ooh, that's a lot. So you can, one of two things. You can wrap the loose hair around your dread and go that method, just crochet from all angles, not over twist because that's just too much. I just over twisted, but I'm doing that so that I can see my scalp. So once you separate your sections, which is easier with someone else depending on the side of your head, I definitely think dreadlocks are like a bestie type of thing. Like if you want dreadlocks, try to convince your best friend to get them too. That way she has them, you have them, he, she, they, whoever has them. And you can kind of convince them and talk them into doing your hair and you doing their hair. And you kind of have your free loctician there, right? Anyways, so my method would be to back comb and then tease everything. But since we have all of this new growth, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the hair through once, just so that all of it is coming out from the same point. So I'm gonna stick the latch through. It's through, it's open, it's closed, and then you pull through. There it is. So I'm doing that so that it's all coming out from the same spot, right? Once I have that, as little hair as it is, I'm gonna tease it. And that's just to give it texture, right? Because texture always helps with locks. Once I have it in that form, you see how you can barely see and it kind of looks like I've already backcombed. This is where I backcomb all of it. Now I'm integrating the backcomb edges and moving into normal maintenance. And you keep doing this down the dread depending on how long you have the hairs. You see, like that one? I'm gonna go ahead and do it another time because it won't hurt getting your hair stuck there if that's what you're trying to do, right? And that's really what locks are. You're tangling your hair, you're matting your hair, you're knotting your hair, however you want to call it. That's what you're doing. Back comb a little bit more. And now we can go ahead and crochet in. Now notice how I'm going slowly. The reason for this is because I'm wanting to just place the hair in the center of the dread. I'm not trying to pull it out through the other side. I want to thicken up the center. So it's easier, especially if you have a thin dread, it's easier if you go at an angle from the top and pull it in. And you want to be careful not to go too fast, not to go too hard, so that you don't tear too much hair. Again, especially if it's a thin dread, because you can lead breakage happens, or breakage can happen when you over crochet, because you're going too hard. So here it is. And just pinch and roll. And when you're doing maintenance, try to have an audiobook or some music playing or something in the background playing, because this can take a minute. All right. Now, when you go into your loctician to get your routine maintenance done, make sure it's not being done too tightly at the edges. Make sure you don't have wet hair. There you go. Just because what can happen, lint happens when you don't wear a bonnet. What can happen is it gets too tight and you're sleeping, you roll over, you pull your own roots out. And that's okay if you have, you know, blonde hair or light colored, any other type of hair that hair follicles can just blend into. But when you have dark colored hair like me, I've done that a lot to the ones in the front, you'll see follicles and it doesn't look nice. Look, I just found another one. Let's go ahead and do that. So you start by dividing and conquering. Whew. Now, I know I'm not the only one whose front sections are probably the best because that's all you reach. So that's what you do the most. Right? Nope. I'm not the only one. I saw this one. I'm just going to crochet in real quick. I went with the half roll, half twist, and now we're crocheting. Also, I start from the top. I like to thicken up my dreads as soon as I have enough growth. Just because the hairs that I have in the front, or my hairline, is a lot thinner than the rest of my hair. So, we've got that going on. One way is by grabbing the hair, placing it where the hook is gonna come out through. I'll just do that. Alright, let's use the latch again, shall we? Where's this coming from? Do we want it over here? We could go there. Yep. So you look all around the dread. I personally can't see. There it is. So where's the loose hair? It's right here. So once you figure out the placing of your hands, what hand you're gonna go in with the hook with, grab your hook, hold on to your hair. Make sure you've already eyeballed where your little hook's gonna come out of. For me, will be right here. And turn it this way so you can see it. See how it's right there? Pull it through. All right. Now, I'm gonna do it maybe one more time for good measure. Poke it through. Close the latch. There you go. Pull it through. Grab onto the hair. Then you're gonna back comb. Tease it up. This is teasing back in the day, right? How old are you? So there it is. See that? Now it doesn't look like a whole little nest hanging off the side of my head. And then we just go in and crochet different spots. So you've just wrapped your hair around the dread, which looks nice on the dread on the outside, gives it that natural look. Okay. Now to each their own. As far as roots, I personally, because of how heavy mine are, I don't really like putting too much stress on my roots. I won't crochet for myself too close to it. I also don't like the way your scalp sectionings can look, like, or being able to see your scalp. I don't like the look, which is why most of mine are brick layered. But this is how you do it. And just go around, make sure that you get your dread from all sides. And you're pinch rolling. This is what that is. Pinch, roll, crochet. I just found some hair over here that I will have to fix, but that'll have to be off camera because I can't see the back of my head. So, anywho, that's how you do your roots, especially with the latch hook. Now you can just go around and do the ones that I'll need more or not more cameras, but more mirrors for. Exactly why I say, grab a friend, talk them into getting dreads so that they can do your hair. I mean, it's just the simple solutions, right? Plus, you just have more excuses to hang out, especially in this pandemic. How tragic, right? So, we're gonna do... Now, if you're doing your own hair, someone else's hair, invest in some hair clips. Whatever hair clips work for you. The gator ones, the thin ones for retwists, actually they're the styling ones, but you know what I mean. So just so that you can clip your hair out of sight and out of mind, you know, and they're not bothering you. Try to get as much of it as you can. So once you have that, rat tail comb is probably gonna be your best friend. That doesn't go there. Cool. So once I have this, because I don't want my dread thinning out too much, I am gonna backcomb the roots a little bit. Make sure to not get the rest or any other hair from any other dread. When you're backcombing here, you're not going to be backcombing as viciously as you do as if you were working on a synthetic dread or on like long dread over here. You know, you're going to carefully place the hair. And that's really important to know. You're dreading the hair, but don't make it dreadful and don't make it terrible, you know, like make sure to place your hair there just gently and go at it from different angles. So the little knot that's right here, pushing over here, so that you can go back and crochet everything in. Give it a half twist or as many twists as you like. Me, again, because I like thick dreads, I'll grab from the roots. I'll make my little tunnel to gauge out the thickness that I want, and I'll go in from this angle. And then I'll twist the dread every so often. And you can kind of feel it when you're working at it this way. I'm currently not looking at any mirror or anything, and I can just tell how it's doing, you know? So that's how you do that. And I feel happy with the roots, so I leave it alone. Move on to the next. So this has been bothering me recently. Where does it go? All right. So it doesn't have any wraps. Good. All right. Now remember, always keep in mind how your hair grows and everything. I'm trying to straighten out this line, and I just remembered that I'm the type to always go this way. So when I originally sectioned my hair, this one wasn't actually a perfect square. I had it kind of like that because of how I grabbed my hair. So anyways, I'll stop freaking out as to why it's not perfect. And then, see, it's thinned out by the roots. Backcomb a little bit. This one doesn't need too much because it has more loose hair than anything. So, just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna latch some hair back in. See that little push movement? That was a latch opening. Now you can either close it yourself or let the hair close it. A good latch hook will close on its own. It'll also open on its own. Here, this way so you can see. Awesome. So, do the same. Back home. Then go back in with your hook. And now you've created a thicker dread by putting everything that was outside flying in. And you'd be surprised how big of a little knot, little bit of hair can do. So make sure not to go too tight. And just crochet in. I'm happy with that. Whew. This is like a whole other deal, right? I'll go ahead and cover, I guess, how to properly wrap your hair. I have had this one for way too long. If you want to know more about wrapping your hair and how to do it, the fastest way to do it, how often, blah blah, let me know. I can, I guess, go ahead and do this one and a few others. But that'll do for now, guys. I'll go ahead and work on the back of my hair. Let's see. Anyways, thanks for joining me. See y'all later. Bye.